The doctors thought I was unconscious after my accident. My family thought I couldn't hear them. That's when I heard my sister whisper to my mom, in a voice so calm it made my stomach twist. "Mom, if she wakes up, we don't get the money." And my mom answered just as calmly, "Then we make sure she doesn't." 3 days before the accident, my mom asked me a strange question. At the time, I thought nothing of it. We were sitting at the kitchen table in her house, the same house I'd grown up in. She had a stack of mail spread out in front of her and was sipping coffee, like she always did in the mornings. "Emily," she said casually, not even looking up, "you still have that life insurance policy from work?" I shrugged. "Yeah, everyone at the company has one. Why?" "Just curious." That should have been my first red flag. But it wasn't. The second red flag came later that day when my younger sister, Kayla, asked something similar. "Is it true your company gives like a huge payout if something happens to you?" I laughed awkwardly. "Why are you both suddenly obsessed with my death?" Kayla rolled her eyes. "Relax, I'm just asking." My stepdad, Ron, barely looked up from his phone. "Life insurance is smart," he muttered. "Especially when you're young." The conversation ended there, but it left a weird feeling in my chest. Still, I pushed it aside. My family had always been complicated. Money was tight growing up, and Ron had always had these weird get-rich-quick ideas. Lottery tickets, shady investments, pyramid schemes, you name it. So when they asked about insurance, I figured it was just another weird financial curiosity. I had no idea that conversation would replay in my head over and over again a few days later. Because 3 nights later, I was driving home from work when everything went wrong. It was raining hard. The kind of rain where the road turns glossy and the headlights blur into long streaks of white and red. I remember gripping the steering wheel tighter than usual. My phone buzzed in the cup holder. I glanced down. It was Kayla. That was the last normal moment I remember. Because when I looked back up, the car in front of me had slammed on its brakes. I hit mine instantly, but the road was slick. The tires screamed. My car skidded. Then everything exploded into noise. Metal crunching. Glass shattering. The sickening feeling of my body being thrown forward. My head hit something hard. And then darkness. The next thing I remember was sound. Beeping. Low voices. Footsteps. For a long time, I thought I was dreaming. Everything felt far away, like I was underwater. I tried to move my arm. Nothing happened. Panic flickered through my chest. I tried again. Still nothing. That's when I realized something terrifying. I couldn't move. Not my arms. Not my legs. Not even my eyelids. But I could hear everything. Machines hummed nearby. A monitor beeped steadily. Someone shuffled papers. "Her vitals are stable," a man said. "But the head trauma is significant." Another voice, female, calm. "She hasn't regained consciousness since the accident?" "No." Silence. Then the man spoke again. "There's a chance she may not wake up." Those words hit me like a punch. Not wake up? I was awake. I was right here. I tried to scream. Nothing came out. My chest tightened with panic. I focused every ounce of energy on moving my fingers. Nothing. My body felt like it belonged to someone else. Hours passed. Or maybe days. Time blurred together. Doctors came and went. Nurses checked machines. I listened to every word, trapped inside my own body. Then one afternoon, I heard the sound of familiar voices. My family had arrived. The door opened. Footsteps approached my bed. "Oh my God," my mom whispered. Her voice sounded shaky. "Emily?" Her hand touched my arm. For a moment, relief flooded through me. She sounded worried. Maybe everything would be okay. Kayla sniffed loudly. "Is she?" "No," my mom said quickly. "She's still breathing." My stepdad, Ron, cleared his throat. "What did the doctors say?" "They don't know if she'll wake up," my mom said. Silence filled the room. I waited for someone to cry. Or say something comforting. Instead, Kayla spoke in a low voice. "So what happens now?" Ron answered. "We wait." The way he said it made something cold crawl down my spine. My mom sighed heavily. "This is awful." For a moment, the room was quiet except for the steady beep of the monitor. Then Kayla said something that made my heart stop. "Do you think her insurance covers this?" My stomach dropped. Mom hesitated. "I don't know." Ron spoke again. "It does." Both women turned toward him. "How do you know?" Kayla asked. I looked it up. My chest tightened. "Looked it up?" "When?" Mom asked. "Last week." The room went silent. Then Kayla whispered something that made my blood run cold. "If she wakes up, the payout disappears, right?" Ron didn't answer right away. Then he said quietly, "Yeah." The air in the room felt suddenly heavier. I wanted to scream, but my body refused to move. Mom spoke next. "That's horrible to think about." But her voice didn't sound horrified. It sounded calculating. Ron continued. "Her policy is $500,000. Kayla gasped softly. $500,000? Plus accidental death benefits, Ron said. Which means? Mom asked. Closer to $1 million. $1 million? My stomach twisted violently. They were discussing my life like it was a lottery ticket. Kayla laughed nervously. That's insane. Ron didn't laugh. We could pay off the house. Mom whispered something I'll never forget. This might be the only chance we ever get. My heart pounded so hard I thought the monitor would give me away. I was lying right there, listening, and they were already thinking about the money. Over the next 2 days, I learned something horrifying. My family thought I was completely unconscious, which meant they stopped filtering what they said around me. They talked openly, freely, like I wasn't even a person anymore. On the second night, I heard Ron's voice again. Low, serious. We need to talk about the accident. My mom sounded nervous. What about it? Kayla spoke next. You said it would just scare her. My brain froze. Ron sighed. I didn't expect the crash to be that bad. Every nerve in my body went cold. Mom whispered, you cut her brakes? My heart stopped. Ron immediately snapped back. No, I loosened the line. Kayla sounded panicked. That's worse. It wasn't supposed to fail completely, Ron said defensively. Just enough to give her a scare. I felt like I was falling through the bed. They caused it. They caused the accident. Mom's voice trembled. You said she'd just skid a little. Well, she did skid, Ron muttered. Kayla whispered, she could die. Ron answered coldly. If she does, we're set. The room went silent. My heart pounded violently. This couldn't be real. This had to be a nightmare. Then Mom asked the question that confirmed everything. What if she wakes up? Ron didn't hesitate. Then we make sure she doesn't. My entire body screamed in silent terror. Kayla gasped. You can't be serious. Ron lowered his voice. She's on life support. No, she's not, Kayla said. Not yet, Ron replied. The silence that followed was suffocating. Mom whispered, you're talking about killing her. Ron sighed like he was tired of explaining something obvious. I'm talking about not wasting an opportunity. I felt sick. They weren't even pretending to care anymore. Kayla's voice shook. I didn't sign up for this. Ron snapped back. You liked the idea of $1 million 5 minutes ago. That was before you said murder. Mom spoke quietly. Lower your voices. I heard footsteps. A chair scraping closer to my bed. Ron's voice dropped to a whisper. The doctors already said she might never wake up. Kayla sniffed. So we speed things up. My heart felt like it might explode. Mom asked quietly, how? Ron answered calmly. There are ways. That night was the longest night of my life. Because I knew something now. My family had caused the accident. And if I didn't do something soon, they might actually finish the job. I spent hours trying to move anything. A finger. A toe. Anything. At first, nothing happened. But sometime around 3 a.m. I felt something. A tiny twitch. My index finger. Hope exploded in my chest. I focused all my energy on it. Move, move, move. Another twitch. Footsteps approached suddenly. A nurse. Emily? She said gently. Her hand touched mine. That's when it happened. My finger moved again. Her breath caught. Wait, did you just... She leaned closer. Emily, if you can hear me, try to move your finger again. I pushed every ounce of strength I had. My finger twitched. The nurse gasped. Oh my God. She rushed out of the room. Within minutes, doctors flooded in. Voices overlapped. She's responding. Pupil reaction improving. Prepare for neurological evaluation. I wanted to cry with relief, but I stayed still, because something else had just occurred to me. If my family knew I was awake, they might try something desperate. So when the doctors asked if I could open my eyes, I didn't. Instead, I waited. And that decision saved my life. Because 2 hours later, my mom and Ron came back. They thought I was still unconscious. And Ron said something that made the room go cold. The nurse thinks she moved. Mom whispered, what? Ron sighed. If she wakes up, everything falls apart. Silence. Then my mom asked quietly, what are we going to do? Ron answered with a chilling calmness. I already handled it. Footsteps approached my IV stand. I heard the faint click of something. Kayla suddenly spoke from the doorway. What are you doing? Ron froze. Kayla sounded panicked. Are you seriously messing with her IV? Ron snapped. Do you want the money or not? That's when Kayla did something none of us expected. She ran into the hallway screaming. Nurse, somebody help! Footsteps thundered toward the room. Voices shouted. Ron tried to leave, but it was too late. Hospital security arrived within seconds. And this time, I opened my eyes. The room froze. My mom's face drained of color. Ron looked like he'd seen a ghost. I stared straight at them and whispered the first words they never expected to hear. I heard everything. They thought I was unconscious the whole time. What they didn't know was that the Hospital security cameras recorded every second of Ron tampering with my IV, and the police were already on their way.